Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I want to talk about having a natural unmedicated birth, whether that's at home or in the hospital. So this last time with my third, my little girl Maeve, I ended up having a unmedicated birth at the hospital. Unfortunately, with my past history, I'm not able to have home births. So that's completely okay with me. I'm still able to deliver naturally at the hospital. So I just want to go over my personal tips and tricks that I learned during labor and ways that can help ease the pain, because let's be honest, it's extremely painful to go all natural. But hopefully these tips and tricks can help you along the way and you're able to kind of practice them and be prepared a little bit. So the first thing I want to say is know why you're having a natural birth and unmedicated birth and what's grounding you to do so, and what's kind of just like pushing you and motivating you. The next thing I would say is to have a provider that supports having an unmedicated birth. That made a huge difference for me, like a world of a difference. My first provider I had with my first two, I can see a huge difference between him and this last provider that I had, and I could not recommend her enough to people. I absolutely loved her. She had great bedside manners and was able to really help me get through it. I know if I would have done that with my other two, using that provider that I had with him, I would not have been able to make it. So after that, I think it's very important to create a plan of what you like your birth to look like. And this is just kind of like an outline, what you want it to look like, what you expect, and just kind of go over the pros and cons of a natural birth and what you're gonna have to deal with. And then after that, I think it's important to sit down with your spouse or your husband and decide if they're gonna support you in that, and let them know how important it is that they support you, because it makes a huge difference when you have a support system. So I told my husband and my mom, this is my plan. Please help me and make sure that I stick to my plan and remind me how important it is to me to be doing this. And that's exactly what my husband did during my labor. Same with my mom, she was there, and they just said, Case, like, you got this. Remember, this is what you wanted. And that's kind of click, like, yes, I did want this. I can do this. I'm capable of hard things. So after you've kind of come up with your plan of what you want it to look like, go over it with your spouse, like I said, and your medical provider. Then comes the fun part, the the labor part of it all. So what I suggest before you even go in to have your baby is to start doing positive affirmations. I can do this. I am capable of hard things. My body was made to do this. I am a strong, beautiful mother. Things like that, and write it down in a journal and do that every day. And that's what I did, and that helps a lot, because there are times where I felt, is this like, how hard is it gonna be? Like, is it gonna hurt? Am I able to do this? Like, is my body gonna be able to handle this? So there are exercises that you can do, physical and emotional. I actually had a hemorrhage with my daughter Maeve, and I was on bed rest, so I was not able to do the physical exercises, but totally I would recommend looking into those and seeing what your midwife or your OBGYN suggests, and work on those as well. And like I said, try the affirmations. That will help a lot. The next thing is find out what soothes you, what relaxes you. For me, I did have my baby in the hospital, so I was in a hospital setting. So I took what was comfortable from home with me to the hospital. My diffuser, my essential oils, my salve that my husband rubs on my feet and back at night. Just things that comforted me, my own robe, everything like that. So things that brought comfort to me. And I cannot stress enough like how relaxing I felt when I was being rubbed with my salve. I remember like my contractions getting really strong. I ended up having to be put on Pitocin. That's the only medication I had, and that was because my daughter needed to be born right away at 37 weeks. She was not having fetal movement, and so they decided it was time for her to come out. So that's the only medication that I took, and with Pitocin, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, or maybe you don't, that it can make your contractions way more intense because you're naturally, when you're naturally going into labor, your body's doing it on its own, so it's less abrasive. But when you're forcing your body to do something it's not ready to do, it's gonna be a little more rough. So if I can do it, you can do it, because I am the biggest wimp ever. Like, my husband doubted me at first. He's like, you're not gonna be able to do this, Case, but I did it. So if I can do it, you can do it. I'm losing my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, essential oils. So yeah, I took lavender and peppermint, and then I also took my salve, which had like peppermint, eucalyptus, lavender, just the soothing, calming oils in it. And you can actually make your own salve, or you can buy them online. I got one actually from the Amish country, local here in Ohio, and it was amazing. So when I was having contractions, I remember where I got to a point where I'm like, okay, this is really intense, like I need some help. I spread my legs across the bed, and I would sway back and forth, and that helped a lot with the contractions. And then I had my husband rubbing my back, because I was having like a lot of back pain. So he was rubbing my back with my salve, and I was inhaling my essential oils as well. So I remember just like, when a really big contraction would come, I would just like inhale my essential oil, and it just really helped me calm, you know, be calm and remember I can do this. The next thing that helped a lot for me, like I said, was swaying back and forth, the essential oils, and then I also used a wet cloth, because I was getting really hot and sweaty. A little TMI, it's pretty gross, but I was getting pretty hot and sweaty during labor, so I had like a rag that I put over my head, and every time I would like push, it would actually fall off, and I'm like, Spencer, put the rag back on, I need it. Like, it, you know, it was hot, so I definitely recommend doing that. The nurse actually put that on me, and I haven't had a nurse do that before, so that was really nice. The next thing is listen to your body. If you feel like you need to push, let them know, whether you're at the hospital or at home, like, hey, I think something's going on down there. Really be in tune with your body, because my nurse actually was like, we're not gonna check you for a while. When I did go in to have my daughter, I was at a 4 already, and I actually didn't dilate with my other 2 hardly, but like a 1, I think. So my body was actually, you know, starting to dilate and be ready and prepare for birth. They're gonna check me for a while, so I was like, okay. Then I felt like I needed to like push. I felt heavy down there. I just felt uncomfortable. Something wasn't, you know, wasn't right. So I told a different nurse, because my nurse actually went on her lunch, and she's like, let me check you. And she said, oh honey, you're ready to push. Within 10 minutes, I went from a 4-5 to a ready to push. So she calls my nurse, and she's like, you better get up here. Your patient's about to have her baby, and you're gonna miss it. So she calls also the OBGYN, obviously, and was like, you need to get up here. She's ready to push. Sorry, my husband's phone's ringing. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So, be in tune with your body. Let them know if you feel like you need to push. Like I said, whether that's your midwife or your nurse, let them know, like, hey, I feel this. Like, let them know exactly what's going on with you. So be very in tune, listen to your body. Your body's gonna know best. And then the last thing I would say is, I know this kind of sounds funny. Actually, a doula told me this a lot of people don't do, because it doesn't work. Like, it's just, you know, don't listen to it, it's crazy. But I was kind of like feeling at my last resort, like, come on, I need something else to get me through these contractions. So the sounds really silly, but it worked, and it helped me a lot. And then my very, very last tip, I think I said that was my last tip, but this one's for sure my last tip. Push where it hurts. I locked eyes with my doctor, and she said, you got this, girl. You can do this. Push where it hurts. That was the best advice I was given, is to really push where it hurts. If you just focus on all your energy going where it hurts, you're gonna make a lot of progress, and your little baby's gonna be in your arms before you know it. Going off of that, do not feel bad if you are not able to have an unmedicated natural birth. There is no shame in needing an epidural or having to have a C-section. You are no less of a mother because of it. And sorry, I get a little emotional. Childbirth is like super inspiring to me, and it's super dear to my heart, and it's something I'm passionate about. So if I get a little emotional, I'm sorry guys. You guys can do hard things. I believe in you. And it doesn't matter what way your child enters this world as long as he or she is healthy. And I'm sending well wishes to you all, and remember, you guys are able to do hard things, and just try to be comfortable, bring things from home that make you comfortable. And I love you guys, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.